Let's start with the news of this week, which is really about, what do we do about TikTok? China, is it a nominally private company that is in effect financed or controlled by the CCP? Is that what TikTok is?
It's not so much the financing. It's just that as a Chinese company, it operates under different rules and at the end of the day can be beholden to the CCP in terms of the content that appears on the platform. Now, you can find, if you go on TikTok, you can find criticism of the Chinese government. You can find videos about Tiananmen Square and all that. It's just they might take it down because the Chinese government wants them to. They might minimize, and I think there's some evidence they did in early COVID days. They didn't want you speculating about it, that sort of thing. And then there's also the question of the Chinese government's access to data collected through TikTok, because we don't have, it doesn't have to operate under the same kind of American rules. So I appreciate all these criticisms of TikTok. And then I think there's some off-the-wall criticisms, the whole, social media is harming kids. That's a bigger conversation. I don't see any evidence that TikTok is any worse an offender than other platforms, and I think some of the evidence on the whole on that front has been overstated in terms of moral panic. Not to say there's nothing there, but
it seems like the Chinese model, it's not really communism or socialism in any technical meaning of the term, but when you dig into the social credit system, you discover that all of those tools that they use, the banking system and the monitoring of the lives of Chinese citizens, this is at least nominally implemented by private corporations that are controlled by the government. So that, that's probably closer to what we call fascism in the technical sense. But I suspect, not knowing, TikTok sounds like the same thing. Lots of government control, but nominally not a government entity.
Right. And people who are critical of TikTok will point out that in China, the version of TikTok that's available in China is nothing like the version available here. It's children's ability to use it, young people's ability to use it is greatly restricted. It's a lot of content on being a good citizen, that sort of thing. But that makes me turn around and go, well, yeah, they're doing that because they're tyrannical. They don't have a free country. They don't have the First Amendment. They don't have a culture of freedom of speech. As a red-blooded American patriot, I wouldn't want to bring that regime into America. I would leave these kinds of decisions to parents and families and communities, rather than what they're trying to do now is ban the app outright, which that's one thing. And then the authority to do that, because the government needs to claim for itself this new authority, is very scary, and I think could be used, easily weaponized in a Patriot Act style. And I'm not the only one saying this. Senator Rand Paul had a great op-ed about this week. Tucker Carlson actually is sounding the alarm on this as well. People understand how this will be weaponized against our speech, which, by the way, as you alluded to in your opening remarks, is already happening. And, for all the concerns about Chinese government-based censorship on TikTok, I hate to break it to you, the same kind of influence in terms of content, the American government has been doing that to Twitter, to Facebook, to Google, YouTube, etc. I've seen the emails. They've been revealed, and part of the great reporting people like Matt Kibbe have done. It's pervasive and terrifying.